need those. I was doing some work. I forgot I had them on until I looked in the monitor. G'day, this is Steve, day 2 of lockdown. Welcome to Woodworking Masterclass. And John, g'day, how are you? Lucas, in the chat room already. How's your garage setup going, John? Are you live teaching from home yet, or what's the go? I've been interestingly following that. It's terrific. So this is Woodworking Masterclass. Chad, g'day. Thank you for dropping in. And as I've said previously, because of this thing that's happening and affecting all of us, I want to stream every day at least for 14 days. This is day 2. For my own sanity, and also I've realised that a lot of people that are on government lockdown, it'll give them maybe something, I don't know about looking forward to, but something that's a constant in their life, and a lot of anxieties come from the unknown and a change. So it's my very, very minuscule, minute contribution to trying to bring a little bit of normality to, people that are in situations that feel vulnerable to change. Mind you, there's nothing normal about me. There's nothing normal about Woodworking Masterclass, but the time, hopefully, is going to be normal, except tomorrow, of course. There's always an exception. I'll be running about an hour and a half late tomorrow because there's stuff that has to be done around the house, which I promised the dear Mrs. I would do. Tango, how are you, mate? Lovely to see you pop in. Yeah, well, I just started late just for you. Now, I sort of this morning I had second thoughts, and I thought, oh, this is stupid. What am I doing this for? No one really gives a toss. And Susie, my dear, lovely, supportive wife, said, darling, you made a commitment. Stick to it. You never know who will watch. So there you go. So I'm down here. Last night, I'm only streaming once today. Yesterday I did 2, and believe me, I was absolutely, totally wrecked, even though I was still working. But streaming, I love streaming. I love the support you people give, the contributions. And g'day, Jared. Welcome. Oh, there you go. Well, I'm going to be doing it each day for the next, whatever I said, at least the next 12 days, maybe longer. Chewy, g'day, mate. Welcome back. G'day, Steve. Yeah, we've got to stick together. Unity in woodwork, that's what I reckon. As I was saying, yesterday I did 2 streams, and even though I really enjoy it, it does take a little bit extra emotional energy, I suppose. I'm not crying poor mouth or anything, just to let you know. So, I didn't even watch telly with Susie last night. Went home, went to bed, boom, that was it. So 1 stream today, and definitely 1 stream tomorrow. What I did last night, for those of you that didn't watch, what we did yesterday morning was this heart, and there you go. That's to go inside a box. I've got some boxes to do, and that goes inside the lid with, if I can find it, somewhere around here. It'll turn up. Where is it? I had it before I went to air. Oh, goodness gravy. It'll turn up. I'll go and find it now, I'll find it later. Anyway, it's got a bit of an embroidery. Is that it there? Can't believe I was looking at it. It's got an embroidery that goes underneath it. It's easier to turn the camera around, isn't it? Noddy. There you go. So that will be going there. Then this goes over the top. This is flock, which we put on yesterday morning, so I'll be sanding that back today. I've got another one of these in the press that I veneered last night, so I'll be cutting the veneer out around that. Amazing what I found, because I've got to be here. I can finish all these jobs. G'day, Ray. I can finish all these jobs that I've had lying around for ages. Music stands and what's the other? Bonbon tables. These boxes that I'm doing at the moment, they were ones that I had to make for a TV series. And so I thought I might as well finish those off. This I glued up to start doing an end grain chopping board, so we'll move on with that. We'll do some more of this. There's another pile of boxes down there that where are we? That I've discovered in various stages of completion, with a huge lump of leather there that I'm going to line these boxes with. So I'll get onto those. I've got some parts of the Hummingbird Bed, so I've got some posts to work on. And if I get totally slack and I've got nothing else to do, there's a great big lump of oak sitting there that I've got to rip up to do chopping boards over. So there you go, we've got a heap to do. Good morning, Jared. Good morning, Louise. How are you? Now, have you got that cup of coffee ready? Because we can pretend. Louise and I and the lovely husband, Andrew, and daughter, Bella, Isabel? Is it Isabel? I'm pretty sure. I hope so. We were meant to meet up for a coffee today, but because I'm here, we can't. So thanks for dropping in. I'll give you till Easter, so self-quarantine, you are doing good, means you'll have plenty of time to finish. Thanks, Ray. I was looking for a permission note, and now I've got it. I will lock myself down till Easter. I don't know if I can do that. Isn't it marvellous? The human psyche. When you don't, one of my grandsons, who they live with us. Now, normally he is more than happy to sit in his bedroom playing games. That's it. The moment you say you've got to stay inside the house, and we're on several acres or a couple of acres, he wants to get out. I want to go for a walk. What did he say to me yesterday? He said, I'm on home detention. That's it. Home detention. I said, yeah, Nanny is the main warden, so watch yourself. Oh, dear. Did you ever get the kitchen project done for all those kitchen gadgets? Did I ever get the kitchen project done for all those kitchens? Which one was that? I've done a few kitchen projects. They're actually up in the Woodturning shed, which I will be streaming from later on. I did a rolling pin, a ravioli rolling pin. What were the other things? Remind me. Isabel, yes, there you go. You going bowling today? All right, so let's go. First of all, I think we'll work on this end grain chopping board. The shelving. Oh, yep. Now, if you're referring to, this is great, because I've had a look around the shop. Over there in the corner, if that's the one you're referring to, yep, we're going to get into that one. So, oh, no, you're talking the blender bench. Yeah, we're going to be working on that one. And this one is a little arts and craft kitchen cabinet, plate cabinet, which I started on Twitch, I think it was. No, the one you're talking about is the blender thing. And yes, we're going to get in. We might do some more work on that. The reason I put that one off was I wanted to do a separate video documenting it all, but stuff. Susie wants to put all the stuff away. So I've got to do that. And I've got a rocking chair broken rocking chair I bought for her for her birthday, which I've got to get fixed, but I'm waiting for the cane to arrive. Oh, bowling was yesterday. Right. Okay. All right, let's go over to the table saw. Now, the idea with an end grain chopping board, there are, for those of you who have missed it, my darling wife, she's really got into this. She has been doing these sayings, positive sayings, and that's a lovely one. Then this one she did yesterday also. So all of us, just remember, just breathe. So even though I'm the vocal visual one, she's up in, oh, here comes Robert. I bet you I know where he's going, straight to that plate. Here we go. Let's see how good I am. Look at that. Hey? He's a good dog. Oh, dear. Yeah, she's up in there creating positive energy as well. So, with end grain chopping boards, the first one I ever made, I wish you'd learn to shut the door. The first one I ever made, I thought, oh crikey, how do you do that? And I cut all these squares up and then I glued them all together. This was back in it was either 1989 or 1990, so a long time ago. Glued them all up and then I tried to clamp them together, and of course then they'd get a bow in it and they'd shift and they'd move, and finally I made a chopping board, and I was using someone else's workshop at that stage because I had a jigsaw, an orbital sander, a router. Yeah, I had a router way back then. It was a Hitachi TR12. Noisy as, but anyway. And I think I might have bought a linisher. So I was using someone else's equipment, and it was one of those places you paid by the minute for whatever machine you use, which is a great idea, and he's still going strong. Julian, it's called Wooden U, and it's in a suburb of Brisbane. Great idea. Any case, I knew nothing about woodwork, and I did an end grain chopping board, and I put it through the thicknesser, and it was blackwood. You can imagine the noise and the smoke. I don't think I've ever seen Julian move so fast. So luckily I've got a drum sander now, so that's not going to be an issue. But the way you do an end grain chopping board, this is just a sample one of something I want to try. First of all, you glue a block like this together. Then we go over to a table saw is best, a bandsaw if you haven't got a table saw. And now I'm going to slice these off to the thicknesses that I want the board to be, or about a millimetre over, and then we re-glue them. And when you re-glue them, there's a couple of things to bear in mind. So let's go over to the chopping board, the saw table, and we'll rip this up. Yeah, look, he's come down, and you can tell the next tool I'm going to use is the saw table, because there's the saw table, and there's Bob, just right in front of me. And there's the, actually we do those bed posts first. Yeah, okay, we'll go over and do those. I've got to put chamfers on them, so when I put it on the lathe, it's not so much turning. Ewan, welcome, all the way from Scotland. But yeah, I'm streaming every day for exactly the same reason. No, he's just, it's all too much. He struggles to get out of the bed to come and get a chocolate biscuit from me. Anyway, all right. So, sorry for the chat for a bit. I'm going over to the saw table. And actually, I might even be able to go this way. Let's see. What does that look like? There we go. What? Bring it up a bit. How's that looking? Don't look at me like that, Bob. Okay. Bring it down a little bit. There you go. There you go. That's all good, isn't it, mate? Hey? It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, good boy. You are. Well, you're famous. You know that? People only watch this show because of you. I'm convinced. All right. Now, I've got to work out how big I want the chopping board, and then I set the saw fence to just a little bit wider than that, which allows for any variations or kinks while I'm doing it. I'm thinking, that's not true. Don't tell a lie, Stephen, you don't think. That's why I get into trouble so much. Oh dear. All right, 40 seems to be the gas. We might go 45. That's a nice chunky chopping board. So we go 45, go 47. No, I'll go 45. Okay, clamp that down. And dead end. Oop. 45. If I get 450 out of this, I'll be happy. Okay, that's 450, so 45 will be 10. I'm losing 2 on each one, so I'll actually bring it Oh, hang on, you idiot. No, that's good. We go 405. We get 10 and we should lose that. We might just go 404 just to be... As I just want to get the maximum amount. When you're doing this too, it's all very well to measure that and say that's 450 and I'm taking 45 out of that. Okay, well that's 10. No, because you have to allow for what you're going to lose with the saw cut. And bring the saw up. There we go. For this one, I think I'll use a miter box. And there we go. All right. Dusty on. Saw on. Let's go. Don't rush it either. Last little bit we'll push through. There we have one bit. Come back. And do it again. Now it's small enough I can just use a push stick, I think. And for that one, I think you're all right, mate. Go on. That's getting a little bit close even for me. So I'll use the gripper. Oh! making sure that the blade will go through that. I might just move it a little bit more to the side. That'll do. All right. So we'll take these over to the bench, and we'll see what we come up with. That could be now rubbish. All right. Okay, I'll move this stuff. Oh! Oh! Well, there's a horse that shoot me. Where's the camera gone? I'll need that. Oh, no, we might use this one, then I can leave that one over there at the saw. What's the side one like? What have we got there? There you go. Let's move this stuff here so you can see what's going on. I'll keep that because that holds me router in the vise. Everyone enjoys that. What do we got? I got birds outside. They're lovely. Little honey eaters by the sound of them. Okay. Now out of that board there, we can make, we'll spin those over. We can make a serving board that long. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky, because I've seen, if you have a look at, there'll be chopping boards that I've seen. Can you hear those birds? They're beautiful. They're in the tree outside. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Now, a lot of chopping boards, you'll see end grain ones, and you can pick them up for $50 or $20 or whatever. And this is how they look. Just like that. With all the grain, all the join lines going up there and straight down there. You don't want that. The reason being, I'll show you an exception to that rule, which I might even do on this. But the main reason is you've got a very weak, what's going on here? You've got a very weak joint. Any stress, especially on a board like this has got a lot of weight in it. Any stress, you're going to fracture straight down that line or straight along this line. But if you offset them, like I'm doing here, you get a much prettier looking board to start with. But you also are bridging your gluing portion. So instead of having, there's a pointer. Instead of having this line along here lining up with this line, so these two pieces are joined together, and that's just like one thin bit of wood. If you offset it, you've spread the stress, so any stress on this piece is split between this piece and this piece, which makes it a much stronger board. Now the exception to the rule, which I'm thinking of doing here, is if you're going to put an inlay in there, which I'm seriously thinking of doing. I don't know, I haven't thought it through yet. Perhaps I should. And then what I mean by an inlay is if I get veneer, which, there we go, oh, this is veneer, contrasting colour, and then glue this board up like this so everything lines up, and then you recut it on the bandsaw or however you want to do the cuts. Then you put veneer where those cuts were and then re-glue it. You've totally changed the forces that are acting on these joints because you've actually separated them and you've joined them with a solid piece. So there you go. I'm just looking at this. I don't know which way to go. I really don't. I might have to think about that. Oh, Steve, I have my snacks and beverages ready for screaming around them. Thanks, Jeff. Vote of confidence. Appreciate that. Unless you choose to go fancy with the chalking board, I think we are safe for the next hour. I don't know if I've got any round of work to do this morning, so there you go. G'day, Brian. Thank you for popping in. Just finished end grain chopping board made of cherry. Oh, good on you, Tango. That's terrific. Got any pickies? Stick a picky. We can have brag breaks. Anyone's made anything, you can just put it up and we can all look at it. There you are. We might start a new trend in streaming. Oh. All right, now. Yeah, that to me looks boring. So I'm gonna change things up a bit. Oh, I'll tell you what we do have to do. I'll glue this up first, I think. But I haven't worked out how I'm going to glue it yet. If I change things up, then that looks totally random. And it doesn't matter about grain direction when you're doing this, because you're seeing the end grain anyway. Yeah, I like that randomness. That's nice, I like that. Okay. Now, was that one, should that one be that one? That one should be that one and we do that. All right. Okay, that's what we will do. And this is the exception. I've decided I'm going to glue this up and put veneer through it. And that's going to be all right. Might chuck that one in the middle there because it's... There is actually a grain direction on end grain, but we don't have to go into that now. Look at that, wouldn't that rip the fork out of your nightie? Do that, and then that means we do that. Okay. All right. Marginally happy with that. So we'll glue it up. I finished it, had it, I would say offset it. How can I do that? Good morning, Max. Now, offsetting is just, as I explained before, you just offset it. So instead of being lined up like that, with everything lined up, you just offset it by half a brick, and then you've got this sort of setup, which is a stronger joint. But because I'm going to put veneer through this, I'm going to have it like it is. And yeah, we'll get on to that tomorrow. I tell you what, I'm just looking at this. These are so even compared to the first one I ever made. Clamps, here we go. Oh. Ta-dum. I started watching a mini-series last night on Netflix called The English Game, and it's all about the history of soccer. Now, I'm not a great soccer fan, but it is very interesting how soccer came to be the way it is today. It's 510, 550. Yeah, it's called The English Game. If you've got nothing to do and you've got Netflix, I can recommend it. It's like all these things, you know, it's based on historical events, and then they just whack a little bit in there to spice it up a bit. I'm hoping that will do. Yeah, I sort of watched one and then watched another and then, oh, I've got to go to bed because I'm tired. So I did. So I'm looking forward to catching up with a little bit later on today. Because I know Sue will go and have a rest. Okay. After you've done these jobs. Oh dear. There we go. All right. Well, we can do all sorts of things with these, really. I was thinking there last night what we could do is, oh, okay, this is another thing I'm playing with. These were some test pieces that I had the other day in pressure pot, which have gone black, and that's what I want to do to break it up. It'd be have black pieces in there as well as the end grain pieces. To do that, I'm going to have to build a purpose-built pressure pot, which fortunately I have everything for, so we'll do that on a stream at one stage. I'm waiting just for some gauges to come in, but I've got all the, I'm building it out of PVC pipe, which is rated at about 300-400 PSI, and I'm only using 50 PSI. So providing I can seal it properly, and I do have counter safety measures in place if they are required, I'm hoping it's going to be a success. Oh, that didn't work. See? Measure twice, cut 3 times. Ah, yeah, so and so. More even, more. Well, we'll go to there then. We got holes. We can keep it going. There we go. Pull these together. Do you know what? Even if I wasn't streaming, I'd still be talking to myself. So this sort of makes it all right. Okay. Now I just want a couple of bits of plywood if I've got any that'll do. Is that going to be the width I want? Oh, beautiful. Lovely. I'll just rip a couple of these up on the table saw so you won't see me for a second. Oh, I tell you what too, last night, I was thinking about these harp things I'm doing, and I've just realised the way I did that's not going to work. So I'm going to have a rethink. But that's all right. That actually was a practice one, but if I can use a practice one, I like it because it means I don't have to make an extra one. All I'm doing is just knocking the dags off. And we will glue this up. So we made a longer board than we started with. There you go. Oh dear. I had a great rubber brush somewhere. This, I think, is a much better idea than what I had before. Last night, when I was tired last night, I was using a heap of glue and it was going everywhere. So I came up with this solution this morning. Much nicer. Saves on glue as well. Boom, boom, boom. It says he larraping a great big lump on the workbench. I'll be in for a chat in a minute and catch up. This is Type Bond 2 I'm using here. I'm experimenting with Type Bond 3 on a different project just to see how it stands up to what I'm actually putting it through. Okay, so there's that one. Now, put that one there. We'll paint this one. Here you go. Yeah, that's much easier, isn't it? There you go. After 35 years, I've just found an easier way of gluing up chopping boards. You're not slow, Steve-o. Not much. Are you taking bets out there how high I can stack this before it all comes from together? It's all very well to do it. I still got to lie them down. It's a bit like, what's that? Django, is that it? That game where you stack all the wood blocks on top of each other? Here we go. Just in case you're wondering, yes, it's very tight at the moment. And if you don't know what I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, here we go. Look at that! High five! Oh, Then the clamps fall over. Well, you can't have 100% success rate with everything. Okay. Boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-da-da-doo. Boom, boom. And what is going to happen when I tighten these up is they are going to move. I just know it. That is the other bonus if you offset them. If they don't line up, it doesn't matter. Okay. Look at that. That appears, that's down, that's up, I'm just running my finger down to see how much discrepancies in the top and the bottom. And there's not much. So you've got to be pretty happy with that. I'm just going to move this one over to the edge a bit more. There you go. Well, that wasn't too traumatic. I've done worse glue ups. Okay, before we go anywhere and I put that one on, I will clean that excess glue off the top there. As I said yesterday, it's nice to have a bucket of water next to your bench. This one's full, so I'm just going to go outside and change it. I'll be with you in a tick. Whoops. Ah, I was looking for that. Oh, that water's hot. Consider it's meant to be cold water. There we go. One of the best things I've done in recent times, putting a tap outside my shed door. Whoops. No, do not adjust your television set. I just kicked the camera over. There you go. Be great if life was like that. When there used to be an ad, Control Z. Just undo it. It's all good. Now I will stress, this is joined this way because I'm going to recut it, which we'll do tomorrow, and put veneer in it, and then the next day we recut it again, do the same again, and then the next day we cut it to shape. So it's not a job that you're going to do in a day. Might as well get some of this out too. Won't clog your sandpaper up as much if you get the glue off whilst it's still wet. Okie dokie. Oh dear. So I saw a bolt over here. Perhaps I could use that. No, that's all there. So I lost my pin for this one. There we go. Okay. You don't want to go too tight because, you don't want to squeeze all the glue out of it. But that will do. We'll leave that till tomorrow. And we'll give it, oops, I'll put some paper down there so the glue doesn't go all over the concrete. There you go. All right, listen, while I'm over here, I'll get this out of the book press. This is another heart we did yesterday. Get rid of this stuff. And put that in there, then we can use that later on. It's a good idea, that. I'm pleased I thought of it. All right. Okay, so that's how that starts out. Actually, I might do this one first. We will see. I'm interested to see how the sanding will affect the lock. Now what I want, doesn't take long to get into a mess for me, I'll tell you. 180, that should do. It's going to very lightly sand this at 180 and we might go all cams there, then you can see what I'm doing from both sides. There you go. All right, this is 180 grit. Trusty Mercer sander. Here we go. This is very, very thin and soft veneer. I have no idea what I think I might put some oil on that to start with. If I've got some, what have I got? Boiled linseed? No. Want some raw linseed oil. If I've got any, what is that stuff there? Oh. Wax, burnishing. Got to have some raw around here somewhere. Oh, what's that there? Wait a minute. Oh, what's that? Pale boiled linseed. I don't want pale boiled, I want raw. Although, I don't know. Look, I might put some pale boiled on that and just, All right, I will. I'll try some pale boiled on that. Because I wanted to put shellac on it originally. I'll just have a look, see what I've got here. Tongue oil. Raw linseed oil, there you go. Look at that. Lovely. Unopened too. Now the reason I'm going for raw is boiled has a drying agent in it, and that can inhibit if I want to put shellac on at a later stage, which I do want to. Hence, the raw will give me the colour I want, but if I choose to shellac it or put a different finish on it, I can get rid of the raw linseed, whereas boiled linseed, it's there for good. Okay. Oh, let me have a chat before I do that. Everyone's been so nice, and I've ignored the yous. I'm going to Max's comment, whatever you put your hand to turns out. Did you see my recent videos on fantastic failures? Hey? Dear. Yeah, Bob's up at the house. He came down, he ate his breakfast and took off. How often do you sharpen your plane blades? Well, it's subjective, Jacob, really, because it depends how often I use them. But if I'm using them a lot, I sharpen them a lot. I can, if I'm doing a lot of hand planing, especially with a number 7, or finishing with a number 3 or a smoothing plane, I will sharpen them, at least strop them 2 or 3 times to just keep that fine edge, because when you're doing fine work, especially with smoothing planes, whether it's the H&T Gordon smoothing plane or a Lee Nelson number 3 or Stanley number 3 or Veritas or whatever it is you're using, you get a really, really nice edge and you can lose it. It's still sharp, it still feels good, but you've lost that really fine edge. So it's handy to have a leather strop or something by you that you can just strop it and bring it back to nice and sharp again. So yeah, that depends. Grab the Mrs. Silicon pastry bag. Yeah, that's. I did have one here. It wasn't the wife's, so. Yeah, I love that. It's a good idea, Brian. I've got a tight bond one. I've got 2 actually. One's up in the other shed, but I can't find either of them at the moment. Yeah, no, it's a K-Tel multi-tool. Didn't you know that, Brian? You can buy them online. You can open paint tins with. Don't you ever open paint tins with my chisels. Dear. What glue am I using? That was this stuff. Type Bond 2. On the hearts and veneer, I'd use hide glue. For joining these boards together to make the hearts, I was using Type Bond Original, and I'm experimenting at the moment with something with Type Bond 3, so there you go. It's all good. G'day, Dean. How are you? Yep, well, that's why I'm streaming every day, Dean. Keeps me sane as well. Yeah, no, you're right, Ray. Hide glue is still my all-time favourite glue, but my go-to PVA style is, and it's reasonably inexpensive. As I showed them yesterday, I knew I was going into lockdown, so I bought a little bit, so I'm pretty good for a couple of weeks now. And I've got a 25 kilo bag of, well, there's not 25 kilos in there now, but of hide glue, so we should be good. Shed full of veneer, shed full of timber, everything schmick. I'm just reading Dennis's quotes. I'm catching up to everyone. Yeah, that's what I like too, John. It doesn't give me as much open time, which means I have to work faster and I can't talk. Oh, it's a great idea. Not only that, the dog comes in and he's got a water bowl there if he needs it. The timber that Steve has X2. Oh, look, you see, that's interesting, Dean. I often have this conversation because I look at the gorgeous woods you got over there. You got cherry, you got maple, and all the different maples, Carrow, walnut, poplar, spruce, great stuff. So I guess it's much the same as anything. If you've got it locally, you don't appreciate it, but if you see someone else has got something, you go, oh yes, wish I could have some of that. Yeah. Thanks, Brian. Vote of confidence. All right, now let's put a little bit of raw linseed on this, and the challenge is going to be not to get it on the flock because I think it will follow the flock otherwise. So let's have a look. Raw linseed oil. We'll try on the outside to get the motion happening. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Look at that, just, ah. And then I'll work way into the harder bits, which is these bits here. Oh no, I think we might have dodged a bullet with that one. Oh yeah, went over the edge a little bit there, but nothing to be too concerned about. Okay, this isn't a full finish. Just have a look at the difference between the two. You wouldn't think that this would come up like that. Well, I'm trying to instill this into my grandsons. You know, we'll walk around the timber yard and there'll be some cheap timber there and you just wet a little bit. Yep, I'll have that. And you know, grandsons, well, why? You don't need any more. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can never have too much timber. There you go. You can never have too much timber. And the other thing I'm trying to get them to learn is mental arithmetic. So if they look at something and it's so much a broad foot or so much a cubic metre or so much a lineal metre or a yard, you can say, well, okay, I need 1.2 metres to make a chopping board I can sell for X, Y, Z, and if I buy it at that, it's going to cost me this much and I can make this much. Yep, that's a good deal. And buy it, because a lot of these times you see something, oh yeah, no, I'll think about it. Someone else will snavel it. So just to work it out in your head. I'm not saying it works all the time. I've been caught, but eventually you will used it. Excuse me. I remember I was at a timber auction once, and it was, what was it? They were selling it by the metre, not cubic metre, the length, so, you know, a yard or whatever. And I bought this stuff and it was 80 cents a metre, but it wasn't very wide. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cheap. What I didn't realise was there was a 10% goods and services tax and a 20% buyer's premium for the auctioneer. So all of a sudden, this timber that I thought was cheap at 84 cents worked out to be quite a bit more, and I'd bought a couple of 1,000 metres of it. So I was out of pocket a few extra hundred I didn't expect. But down the track, someone came along and wanted a cabinet built, and they actually specified this timber. So I was in front, and it did work out cheaper than had I bought that timber at current market value when I got the job. So there you go. All right, does that look? How does that look? Looks pretty good, I reckon. What we'll do, okay, now I will use a hot glue gun on this to put this on the back. And that's how it will look when you open the box. That's what you're going to see inside the box. I'll get my ugly mug out of the way. There you go, that's what you're going to see in the box. And I reckon that looks quite nice. It's different. I've never done it before, I've never seen it before. So there you go, it's a first. I've got a few of those to do now. So that's what I'll be doing for the next few weeks as well. Let's cut this one out. So again, let's go there. You can see where the heart is because it hasn't glued, and you're going to have to come in from both sides. You can veneer one side at a time, but you're really inviting trouble if you do that because the plywood will bend and cup, and you'll be forever trying to compensate for it. So if you go from one side to the other, you eventually will make enough space that you can cut it from both sides. The idea is not to rush it, which I'm trying to do now, so I'm going to slow down. Oh, what have we got? Where are we up to? Yeah, look, I don't know. Don't be afraid. Who's that? Dean. Yeah, don't be afraid to water it down, because when you water it down, all you're doing is putting moisture into it, which is going to dissipate anyway, and then you're going to be left with the full strength glue. That's my understanding. And if you want more open time because it's going too fast, always have one of these. He says, always have one of these handy. Oh, there you go. I was going to go for a spray bottle. I've got kerosene in that one. I've got a cleaner in that one. I've got a cleaner in that one. That's the one I was looking for. It's got water in it. So always have a spray bottle handy. And then if you see the glue is starting to get a skin on it or something, just give it a couple of squirts with an atomizer bottle with water in it, and you will get a little bit of extra time. Oh, where are we? I'm not using a knife while I'm reading, I tell you. Oh dear. Oh, well, provided I don't go near the router, Max. Well, you could actually. I've got 12 to do, and I've got another 9 down there I've got to finish. So there you go. Are you talking about me being the sows here? Oh dear. Yeah, no, they are. They're good. Spray bottles, always have one handy. That and a bucket of water. People are frightened about putting water near wood. But when you think about it, that's how wood grows, with water. So timber doesn't mind water. Woodworkers don't like water, but the timber doesn't mind it. Now, it doesn't matter if I get a bit of a split out here, because I'm going to router it anyway for the rollover on the edge. That's why that one looks so good, because it leads in. It doesn't go from here straight down. I've got a very, very subtle little round over there that I did with a very small round over router bit. So it's all good. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. That first couple of cuts that you put in there, I must admit, yeah, your heart's in your mouth because you think, oh goodness, what happens if I miss it? What happens if I do this? And life is full of situations like that. On the back it doesn't matter because you're not going to see the back. But it's good to try and be careful as you go. Just good practice. Whoop. I've got that other stuff to do too, don't I? These boxes I have to have finished by the 5th of April, or before the 5th of April. So as you can imagine, I've got my work cut out for me. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I rang up those of you that were in on the woeful day yesterday. For those of you that didn't know, I thought, oh, well, I can't go anywhere. I'll go and fly my drone. So I've got a Mavic Platinum Pro. And I thought, oh, I'll go and fly the drone. That sounds like a good idea. So I did. And then I was running low on batteries, so I thought, I'll better return to home. And I've just started using, actually, this is what I've just started using. I've just started using, I don't know what Tab A, I think it's called, a little Samsung tablet to fly with. So I'm not used to it. Normally I used to fly line of sight and I'd watch it and what have you, and then I graduated to using the screen, which is really great. And it came up on the screen, home target identified. And then the drone flew overhead and I looked down to I've got a big yellow helipad, and I thought, oh, it's not quite there, but what it'll do, it'll come down between the trees and then it'll adjust and then it'll land. Put that one there. No, it decided it would go sideways into a 40-metre tree to adjust because the sensors are turned off when it's coming to home. And I'm looking at the screen and I see it's got to go that way. So I should have toggled that way. Unfortunately, I didn't. I looked up and looked at where it was and, oh, it's got to go that way. So I toggled the other way, which put it into the tree further. What I didn't realise, because it all happened in a split second, was the drone had turned around, so I thought I was looking at the back, which meant if I'd done that, it would have gone that way. But because no, hang on, it was the other way around, that's it. If I'd done that, it would have come out of the tree. But because I was looking at it, I thought, no, it's got to come that way. And I went that way and it pushed it further into the tree. And I didn't think I could get a standing start off so quickly, but I tell you what, I made it and I missed it by about 2 metres. And this thing came down, 40-metre tree, bang, straight onto its nose. I've got some great pictures that I'll put up later on. I've got the SD card, so I want to get the footage of it. And I thought, well, that's it. I've just wasted all my money on a drone. And thank goodness the internet, I rang up and the bloke said, what's the problem? I sent him through some photos. The dearest thing was the gimbal was all smashed and all the video cables were broken. But yeah, it's expensive, but it's not going to cost me as much as a new drone. So as soon as I get out of here, in a couple of weeks, that's it, up to the drone shop to get it fixed. But yeah, that was a bit of excitement. So sort of coloured my day a little bit. Okay, now what I did yesterday, I'm going to do today. I am very, very lucky because I have a oscillating spindle sander. So I'm going to put it into that. If you're trying something like this and you don't have one, if you've forgotten how, if you didn't see how I made this, I'll be doing some more, but I might do a standalone video for it. But I wanted to get this really sharp down here, and you can't do that if you're using a router, because you'll get, instead of a sharp V, you're going to get a round. So I do this in 2 pieces, but I'll go over to the sander and I'm going to clean out just these bits here. So we'll go over there and do that. And I'm going to have to get a wriggle on so I can get them all done. Where are we? That's it, there you go. Be careful you don't hit that bit here on the heart, because you want that sharp as well. Okay, it's cleaned up quite nice. Just put a, this is just a rubber block. It just takes all the gunk out of the sander to keep it nice. Hope you don't get vertigo. There you go. Yeah, so that's come up right. And I'm just going to clean up in there and in there. We'll just get that glue out of there. There you go. Then, I don't know if I'm going to router this one yet. Don't know. So I might not. No, it might not round this one yet. We'll save that excitement for another day. Okay, got to do the bedposts, so we'll go and do that in a minute. Let me catch up. Yeah, also orange is beautiful. We can't get that here. There is an orange we get, but no, also orange is lovely. I like that. Oh, good on you, Dean. That's good. Yeah, I'm trying to get... That's the deal, because our kids are out of school. Well, we homeschool one, and the other one, he might as well come home too. And that's what I said to them. For those of you who've been following me for a while, I bought an old utility tray top for my oldest grandson, and he's going to learn mechanics on that, so we'll pull it apart and put it all back together and get it running, because it wasn't running when we bought it. And I said to his younger brother, right, you have to start learning how to use mechanics, because one day you're going to have a car. You're going to need to know how to change a tyre, how to change spark plugs, how to check a radiator, yada, yada. And also, you're going to learn how to do something in the workshop, whether it's wood turning, whether it's welding, whether it's blacksmithing, whether it's on machines or hand tools or carving or epoxy resin. Don't care. We've got everything here. There's no excuse you can't learn things. So they're learning a whole new different range of skills. And they're sort of self-paced. Oh, and needlework, yeah. Susie's got them in there doing embroideries and sewing stuff for themselves, whether it's a pillowcase or a little tote bag. I'm going to be up there in the sewing room, might be in a week or so, and I'll make a new apron, because this one's disgusting. Look at that, it's had the royal order of the prawn, and it's dirty and grotty and filthy, but I've worn it non-stop since 2013, I think. So not bad, 7 years. What are we up to? I'm missing half of these chats, so I'm sorry, that's why I'm going back. G'day, Ken. Oh, mate, I'm a bit of everything. I've got stuff to do. No, I think fingering around is just as good as tinkering around. It doesn't make any difference. G'day, Turnings. How are you? Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that, Brian. Well, actually, I've got to tell you a story about my dear mum, departed though she is. Hang on. Oh, there you go. Oh, lovely, lovely name. Dean, good name. Yeah, my mum, she went for a helicopter ride once, and she went with my dad, and it was one of these scenic rides. And when they came back, they got off the helicopter, and my mum shakes the pilot's hand, and as she shakes his hand, she puts the door handle in his hand. She was white-knuckled and broke the door handle off the helicopter. I thought that was hilarious. Hilarious. Chopper pilot most likely didn't think so. All right, let's go over and cut some corners off these bedposts. Got that to do today too. Oh. So basically what you're doing, instead of me streaming a specific thing... Hello, Bob. How see you been there? You're a good lad. Are you going to come in or what? What's the caper? Toilet paper? Come on, you coming in? So what you're doing, you're actually with me for a day in the workshop. And those of you that don't believe, I actually do work during the day. Not as often as I should, and not as much as I should. But it does get done. Maybe not all the wife's jobs, because they're love jobs, and she's got this habit about eating and wanting bills paid, so one has to look after her. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I just got to set this up so it's the same thickness as this. And then we'll rip that off. What else did I say I was going to do? I'm just tilting the saw over to 45 degrees. And bringing the blade out. There we go. That's going to be pretty darn close, I'm hoping. I'll have a look and see what else I said I'll do, because we'll do some of whatever else I said I'll do. Okay, here we go. Dust extractor on. Saw on. Oh, let's go. All right. Now, I don't know. I'll just square these ends off so I can then put them in the lathe. nice and square. Doesn't matter about the length, I'll sort that out later on. Tell you what, they're heavy suckers. Doesn't matter if they're not precise, providing it's flat where the live centre and dog drive goes into. And the last one. Oh, crikey! They get heavy after a while. And the last one. All right, I'll be ready to put on the lathe, which will be good. Oh, okay, that's done, that's done. What else is there? Oh, I might do some on the blend. We'll have a bit of router fun, and then, there, I see the time flies going on with you guys, all you people, girls and girls, guys and girls, whatever. Yeah, where are we up to? Hey, Alfredo from Uganda. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for dropping in. This apron, yeah, it certainly did have a lot of history. Hey, MC, everything's going great, mate, really good. Yeah, the mutt's down there, look at that. He's actually changed positions. There you go. Oh, it's a tough lot. What do you reckon, Bob? Did we get a tail wag? Not even a tail wag. No, he's on strike today. There you go. Oh, yeah, where am I up to? I step away from mine for a bit. Where's Steve Cutter? You can't do that, Dean, because I don't know what I'm doing from one moment to the next. Yeah, you're right. They are heavy. It's all birch ply. Yeah, they're going on the lathe. Not the little lathe you see me using in the other shop. I've got a big monster of a lathe with a 1.8 a 1.8 metre bed next door. So that's what they're going to get spun on. Yeah, kind of scary with that small motor. No, motor gauge is good. It's on a, what do you call it, track. So it's, yeah, a locked in track. So that's all good. Bob's tired, yeah. Oh, thanks, Alfredo. I appreciate that. All right, no, that's it. We're going to have a bit of router fun. I'm going to do it. Oh, let me just get a bit of, clean a little bit off here first. Oh, where does that go? Ouch. So what have I worked on so far? I've worked on the boxes, I've worked on the bed, I've worked on the chopping board. Now I'm going to work on the blender bench. Oh, look. See, I like to think that I'm I don't know what the word is. Adaptable. That's not the word I'm looking for. But anyway, other people say, no, I've just got poor concentration. Hey, that's cruel, isn't it? God, I don't know. Oh, let me see. I've got to do some more cleaning of... Oh, there you go. There you go. What's nothing better to do? This was some wooden hinges I was playing around with making ages ago. Oh, you never know. Might get back into making those. I've forgotten how I made them now, but anyway, it's there. We'll put it up. That could be another job. That I need because I've got to do a heap more of those hearts, which I'll do off camera. That's a very small router bit that I use to go around the heart, which is very small. In fact, I mean, I'd like to do some more on-point videos with specific, it's very hard to say that, specific content, but I think in the current situation, I'm going to see if I can pull bits and pieces out of streams that I've done and see if I can make some sense out of that, and then maybe just put videos up with, that's a little, what do you call them? Veneer hammer. There you go. I'm sure I've got one here. There you go. So we might make a veneer hammer later on. I've got enough blanks for them. And bow sanders. Might do a bow sander. Yeah. So in the current situation, if I can pull videos that streams that I've done, and pull topics out of that, I might just put them up to music for those people that really haven't got the time, inclination, or stamina to watch one of these streams all the way through. It'll be a way of sharing information with them. This cocky poo is absolutely disgusting. And my compressor decided to die this morning. The one down here, I do have a bigger one up in another shed, but I'm not bringing it down here. So that could be another stream, me pulling apart a compressor. The good thing about that is it doesn't work now anyway. So there's every chance it won't work after I finish playing with it. Oh dear. I'm just making space here so I can do some router work. Don't forget, if you're doing projects yourself and you get stuck, I welcome the opportunity to stop what I'm doing. We can talk about whatever's going on in your workshop, because this isn't the Steve show, it's your stream, not mine, because you're the people that make it a stream. I'm just in the workshop doing stuff that I would have to do anyway. And it's justification for talking to myself. There you go. All right. Here we go. I'll go and get the top of the blender bench. And I haven't worked out yet if I'm going to do a double bevel on the top or a single. Don't know. I still don't know, and I'm about to do it. So we'll definitely do one, and then we'll see what happens after that. Oh dear. Here we go. I just hope the same, thank goodness, the same router bit's still in the router. Here we go. Now, hang on. What's going on? Is they getting into me again? Yeah, look, James, the deal is, because I'm shut down for another 13 days, I'm just going to stream every day, and basically I'm going to do what I do in my workshop anyway, and people can watch me. How did I do that? It's been a while. Oh dear. Let's just have a look-see. Oh, there you go. No, I think I'll do double-sided. It'll look nice double-sided. I've lost my mouse. What have I done with my mouse? Yeah, mouse. Because I need my mouse because I can't read chat otherwise. See, this is what happens when you get so organised. You put stuff up and you can't find it. Bob's leaving. He can feel the movement in the force. You want to go out, Bobbo? There you go, mate. Good. Oh, it's there. He's a good boy. He took me over to the door, and lo and behold, there's the mouse sitting next to the door. Oh, dear. Okay, well, we're on the same track. We're talking routers. Oh, that's lovely, Lucas. Thank you. It is my intention to do that. Thanks, MC. I really appreciate that. No, don't be like that, Jeff. They're over there. Look, I'll shows you. There you go. Just behind the rocking chair, just next to that bench. Music stands. We shall get onto them. Hey, what did Ray say? I've got to have them done by Easter anyway, so there you go. He's given me a curfew on that. Oh, please, it's relaxing for someone. G'day, T-Bone. How are you? How's down there in New Orleans? How are your gigs going? Are you getting any gigs cancelled, or you working or not working? What's going on? Oh, good on you, Brian. Huh? Yeah, I clean the bench. This is how I normally clean the bench. I start at this end and go like that. It's the floor that doesn't get cleaned. Oh, thanks, Dennis. Yeah, she's a ripper. This one's got soft start, soft stop, and a brake. It's lovely. Nah, Bob left because he wanted me to find the mouse so I could read all your insults. All right, let's go. Oh, let's not put it off any longer. Where is it? Oh, my hip bone. There you go, that's off. Now that's on. So I'm hoping I've got the same depth as before. Oh, that's lucky. All right. Yeah, we might do the underside first, just in case it's not the right depth and I muff it. Here we go. Oh, I don't know if I've drilled the holes on this yet either. There you go. Have I? No, I haven't. Well, how did I do that? We'll do that later. All right. So I've got to drill the holes in here in the bottom to put the spindles in. So we can do that later because I've left that particular drill up in another shed. Which is stupid because I've got about 5 of them, but I can only find one of them when I want it. Okay, how's that going to go? It's going to slip all over the place, isn't it? Okay. So we might just have to hold it in place. She'll be right. It's all good. Yeah, I know, but I'm not listening to it, Ray. I'm not listening. It's telling me I should go up and watch that show I was telling you about. Okay, that's going to hold that. So it's all good. Oh, dear. Oh, no, that's no good, T-Bone. No good at all, mate. Yeah, see? Silver lining all the time. Here we go. We'll have router cam. There you go, router cam. Oh, this is going to be fun. That's going to slip like a... All right, then I'll do this bit in here, and then I can clamp it down here. There we go. That's not moving. Well, not very much anyway. I do apologise if you've got any sawdust on your lounge room floor, because it's all over my screen. Oh. But I tell you what, if you were here and if you could smell this timber, oh, it smells just like hot caramel sauce. It's Australian timber from New South Wales called Coachwood. And, oh, it's lovely. I might try it without clamps. We'll see. Oh, there we go. No promises. There you go. Look at that. Did you notice the look of constipation? Did you look at the note of concentration? I even felt it when I was coming around. I thought, oh, gee, you look serious. There you go. All done. Easy peasy. What we've got to do now is this bit. Go away. Keep on getting all this stupid stuff. This, where are we? Yeah, this corner here, because it's rounded, I want it square. So we'll just get in there with a chisel and square that out. Oh, I'm going to try this compressor. Now it's working. I don't know. One of those things. Oh. Actually, I might turn that off and I'll just use a vacuum cleaner for the moment. I think it will do the job adequately. So you can see what I'm actually doing. That's the screen I look at. I can't see anything. There you go. Now I can see. So now you can see what I see. Okay, that will do that. Oh, now, I'll say we had to square these off. We can do that easy enough. Use a knife or a pencil might be better. How did that go? How's everyone's heart rate? Is it all right? No, there's three, T-Bone, there's three. There's a bottom shelf, a middle shelf and a top shelf. And I was going to do a separate video of this. And then I thought, no, it's never going to get done, so let's do it. Yeah, blame it on me, MC. If you get into trouble, just blame it on me. way you think, James. Yeah, no, don't let that get out, all right? That's going to be... I'm sorry for all the ladies that are watching, but that's going to have to be classified. That's secret men's business, that is. Although does a shop vac count? Because if a shop vac doesn't count, we're in the clear. All right, you want to see what I'm doing? There you go. Where are you? Come here, you. Okay, so I'm just... This ridge line along here from the router, I'm just putting a right angle there and bringing it up to this ridge line here, and I've just done a little... We might have bench cam. There you go, job cam. Let's see how we go here. Hey? Look at that. That's awesome. Oh, look at that. You don't get that on the Discovery Channel. Okay. Oh. And then with a chisel, the only thing that's going to vibrate now when I use a chisel. Put that right on the line and little tap down, and the same over here. Have your flat edge on the line and just gentle couple of little taps. I would prefer a carving chisel to do this, but it's all right, we'll use what we have at hand. And then we'll cut into there. And we'll cut into there. Make it a bit deeper. Get out of it. As you can tell, these aren't my paint opening chisels, Brian. And then we just bring this, God, it's ornery that is. Actually, fishtail chisel might be the go. I don't know which size though. Oh, there you go. These are fishtail ones. There you go, look at that. Just bring that corner around and we use the other angled fishtail for this side. These are sort of chisels you don't use very often, but when you do need them, that's what you need. And this one here. I know I should change chisels, I'm just lazy. Whoever asked me about planes before, I think I'm going to have to sharpen my chisels. Shh, don't talk to him, he's concentrating. Where are we? Which one are you looking at? Okay. Now, just a question of sanding that over. Now that gives you, needs a little bit more cleaning up, but it gives you a nice sharp corner in there instead of the rounded one the router will give you. Which is one reason I don't like routers for doing certain jobs, because yes, they are good and they can save you time, but they can also cost you a lot of time too. It's by fiddly little bits. Where are we up to? Well, James, I don't know about a grey area. It depends where you bought it from. If you bought your vacuum cleaner from a big box hardware shop, I reckon it should be classed as a tool. If you bought it from a department store, open to conjecture. See you, Jeff. All the best. Thanks for dropping in, mate. Yeah, the actual tools you can open paint tins with, they're called paint tin openers. I had one for years. I don't know if it's... I had a wattle one. I think someone might have borrowed it and I never got it back, or did I? No. I think it's gone the way of the dodo. But I had it for years. No doubt one of the kids has borrowed it. Well, and it was good. It had a little, like a... You remember the tyre levers on your bicycle when you had to change the tube? It was like that. It had a little hook on it. Good stuff. I just read Brian's comment. Steve uses Swiss Army chisels. Hey, perhaps we could patent that. Do you reckon it'd take off? Oh, dear. Oh dear. I love these comments, it really is, it's great. Yep, no, look after your chisels, mate, that's it. Hewan, mate, you've missed everything, but it's all right, you can watch it again. You play with it. You play with the amounts, MC. This is referring to a coconut oil beeswax blend that I might tell you what, we'll make some. I'll do it in a stream. I can't say tomorrow because I've got to get the stuff, but we will. We'll make some in the stream. Look, it's only, I've forgotten, it might be, I think 350 grams of beeswax. Don't quote me on this, but I think it was about 350 grams of, 350 grams of coconut oil to 43 grams of beeswax. It was something like that. It's only about 5%. It's not a great amount of beeswax. And then you adjust it. Because what you'll do is you'll do it and then you'll find it's very runny. So the next lot, put a little bit more beeswax in it. And then you might find it's a bit too hard. And it's just a hit and miss, but we'll do it during the week. I promise you. Hey, Mike from Colorado. Yeah, no, get away from the back. Mate, if you have to, put a compressor in the house. That will save you the bother of a vacuum cleaner. It's just, I don't know if you missed it or not, but my compressor down here has just died. And I've got screens all over the place, and the screen I look at, normally when I'm looking at a screen just behind the camera, but then if I'm looking at the other cameras, I look at the screen in front of me and I couldn't see it because it was covered in sawdust. That's why I had to do it. All right, well, listen, hang on, what else was I going to do? I think that was it. Is that all I said I was going to do? We were going to do boxes, which we did. Can't do. I tell you what I will do. I found this one too. I'm going to finish this one off. Now, just quick, how many sided box? All right. That's all I'm going to show you, and we'll do that later on. It's actually a 7-sided box, but when you look at it, you think, oh, it's 6 sides. And then you go, no, it's 8 sides. It's not. It's actually 7-sided. So I'm going to finish that one off whilst I'm doing all these streams in lockdown. That'll be interesting. I'll do that, maybe start doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be later than today, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours later, because we've got some stuff I've got to do around the house. But normally it will be the same time, which is 9:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, not Australian Daylight Saving Time. And I'll be streaming at least once a day, every day for the next couple of weeks, to keep my sanity and maybe help some people out there, to give them something to focus on or look forward to, and they'll look at my life and realise that their life's a lot better than mine, and that might make them happy, I don't know. But regularity and consistency is the key. Randy, g'day, just slipped in there. No, go away from the dentist chair. No, don't want that MC. Yeah. That's a good thing about lockdown. You can't go to the dentist. Another positive. Oh, show us a picture. Randy, if not this stream, next stream, because I'll be streaming tomorrow. Before you leave, can you show us the oldest and most used hand tool? Gee whiz. I think, to be honest, it would have to be those old marble chisels. They're definitely not the oldest tool that I've got. Come here, you. Those chisels there, I've had and been using since early 90s, I'd say, and non-stop. And it wasn't until much later on I changed over to these handmade, custom-made chisels. But yeah, those and maybe those squares, I've been using those for 30 plus years. Let me have a look around the tool shed. Most used. Now that really depends. Okay, I know what it would be, but it'd be up in the other shed. It would be my old Stanley 060 block plane. I reckon that would be one of the ones that I've used consistently. And then I changed over to the Veneering NX60. But yeah, I reckon the Stanley, the oldest, actually the first tool I bought, I don't know, it might even be in that box over there, was a Stanley number 4. I bought that in 1970. This could be it here. Let me have a look. There you go. There you go. It's definitely the least used, but it was the first tool that I ever bought when I was married, and I thought, I'm going to do jobs around the house. A Stanley number 4, I think it cost me maybe $30, and as you can tell, it hasn't had much use. These planes behind me get far more use than this one does, but This is more nostalgia. I didn't know how to use it until 20 years later, because you buy something in those days. I bought it out of the box. I thought you could use, and it'd be ripping timber, and didn't understand about setting the iron and sharpening the iron. So the most, yeah, look, it depends what I'm doing, to tell you the truth. I love my H&T Gordon stuff. When I'm doing a lot of work, I use that one a lot. But then again, when I started out, I was using Stanley No. 7. I've had that for possibly 30 years. So yeah, it's very hard to tell. Definitely the cheapest one I've got is a cork sanding block. And as you can tell, that has had a lot of use over the years. So there you go. I hope that was a help. All right, yeah, well, we'll catch you for next time. I bought the same plane last year. $30! Way to go, T-Bo. Well, that's what it cost me. Crikey, what was that? 79, 89, 99, 2009. 40 years ago, it cost me $30. So you did well. You did well. So anyway, I'll be here tomorrow, but it won't be until maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock Australian Eastern Time. Got no idea what we're doing. I'll be doing some more work on this. We'll do some more work on the end grain chopping board. I will start to do some work on this. We'll do some more work on the other boxes I'm working on. If you got any challenges, or not so much challenges, if you're facing challenges, that's a better way of putting it, and you'd like to talk some stuff over, can't guarantee I'm going to give you the right answers, but I'll do my best. But I'm sure there's some clever people in the chat room and they will be able to help sort it. We can do that, usual Q&A, usual ramblings and rantings of an old man. And slowly we're getting jobs done, which the wife is so happy. So that's what we'll do. We'll screw these, and I might even have all the spindles finished so we can fit them to see how we go. I've got to spray this. And still cut up that piece of oak over there. I don't think I can get the cameras into the big lathe, or else we could turn some of those bedposts. But I might do that in the meantime. But anyway, in the meantime, this is Steve pulling the shed door down, saying remember to keep it sharp. But more importantly, keep it safe. And if you're in lockdown, keep your sanity. Work some things out to do, read a book, watch TV, play a game. Catch up on some snoozes. That's what I'm going to do. Look after yourself. Be kind to each other. And as I'm saying now, may your God bless you, keep you safe and look after you and guide you the best way to go. Be considerate of your neighbours, and just let's all change the world through woodworking. That's a good one to end with. So this is Steve. See you later. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day. Catch ya. Bye for now.